Thank you all for coming here today. Obviously, with the recent floods in Queensland, South East Queensland, we thought it was a fantastic opportunity with obviously the partnership that we have. Obviously, David Noble used to be at the club. Jack Ziebell and a few of his players have obviously decided to auction off their boots, as well as 5 or 6 of our players out of the leadership group. So the game tomorrow night will actually be a bit of a flood appeal game. There'll be obviously the boots that are going up for auction. Our girls have also, all the proceeds from their Indigenous jumpers earlier this season will go towards the flood appeal. There'll be activities around the outside of the ground where gold coin donations will also go towards the cause. So thanks so much for North Melbourne for obviously getting involved in the whole process, and yeah, hopefully it's a good match and we can raise a lot of money for the victims that have been affected by the floods.
Jack, how easy was it for you to get involved, and can you tell us through the process of who rang you guys and said, can you help us out?
Yeah, no, it's a very, very easy decision. Actually, really excited to be able to help in any way we can, and feel very fortunate, to be honest, to be part of this match. Watching from afar down south in Melbourne, what took place up here in South East Queensland and northern New South Wales as well, is a fair bit of obviously fairly big impact with the floods that happened. So for us to be able to just come up here, and we're going to play a game anyway, but to be able to raise some money and auction off a pair of boots, it's very minuscule in what we can do, but might have a bit of an impact for a lot of people around. So I'm not sure of the process. I know Nobes has got plenty to do with the Lions up here, so I think there might have been a few phone calls between a few key figures, and there wasn't many questions after that. It was just how can we help and what do you need us to do from that point.
Big Bruce fan in South East Queensland is going to fork out a bit of money, or maybe someone down in Melbourne wants your boots really badly?
I don't care who buys them, as long as they buy for a lot. We can do a meet and greet after as well if someone pays overs for them. So yeah, they're good boots. I mean, they're nice new Pumas. We can buy them for your kids, whatever you want, really. Trying to sell them. Not
what size are they? What size are they?
Size 11, but yeah. So no, at the end of the day, it's about raising as much money as we can. So if somebody forks out overs for them, it's for a good cause. The money's going to be well used as well. I know that a lot of people need it at the moment. So it's, yeah, as I said, it's a privilege to be up here, being able to help.
So you were really, I would say, a bit emotional last time we were talking about this, and how personally affected and the team was affected. You must be really happy that you can chip in and do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jack hit the nail on the head there. It's whatever we can do. It's probably not going to be much, but it certainly might, change a few people's lives. And I think that's really important. Raise the awareness around it, and hopefully people can donate. So, there's been players, coaches, our AFLW side obviously affected by the floods as well, and I remember driving to that press conference and just seeing people's whole livelihoods out on the street, getting put in the back of tip trucks and bobcats cleaning it all up. It was quite a deluge, something like that. So yeah, I'm glad that we are able to have this game, and obviously we encourage all the people in Brisbane to get out and support, and obviously donate as best you can.
Just themselves, you went through it, Nate's went through it.
Yep.
You know exactly what it's like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was sort of crept up on us a little bit, and there was nothing that we could do. Couldn't move quickly enough to get our stuff off the ground or whatnot. So it was great to see the community actually come out as quickly as they did, and made sure we were all right and our next door neighbours were all right. And I think at the end of the day, it's the community that actually helps get you through it. So big thank yous to all those people that helped out. Yeah, really good. I'd probably say 100 times better than what it was last week, and it's going to continue to be like that. Obviously, it probably didn't look pretty on the TV, but it's certainly, what I was able to do on Tuesday in terms of a running sense, and then full trained yesterday fine, and was able to trot around here today. So, the improvement in it's been quite significant, which was expected. But obviously, there's, it's just going to be a progression thing.
Give us a sense of how far ahead you are this week as opposed to...
Yeah, I'd probably say a lot. Does that help? From where I was waking up Saturday morning to play last week, I'm probably at that stage on Monday when I rocked up in here. So, quite significant, the improvement. And, I'm expecting it to be like that, from here on in. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have no more troubles throughout the season.
Are you sick of talking about it?
A little bit. You done asking me about it?
I didn't ask. It just seems like every week for a month now we've been talking about it, and you got 33 possessions on the weekend, so it can't have hurt you that much. Can't have hampered you that much.
Well, it did, and it didn't look great. It didn't feel great, but I guess for me, mentally knowing that it's not doing any more damage was quite relieving. So if I can get out there and tolerate the pain, there's no reason why I can't be out there. and in any way that I can help, the boys play and execute our game plan and get that done, then put my hand up to play.
Body aside, Zorks, it's a new position for you. Do you expect the opposition to start putting work into you, or trying to?
Ask Jack. He's got their game plan. Potentially, but you'd be there's so many. We're developing our team, around everyone being able to contribute, and we've got a lot of fantastic players that are having good seasons in other positions as well. So I think gone are the days where you're just focusing on one player. I think it's really important that all 22 contribute, and I think North will be doing that as we are.
How much of a mental adjustment is it for you to play midfield for 10 years and be asked to do that?
It's an exciting new challenge, one that I've really, really liked. It's sort of refreshing, and a sense of excitement a little bit, and being able to see the game that happens in front of you is something that I've really enjoyed, and probably not being able to move as well as I am has probably allowed me to see it from right in front instead of out on the wings where the original halfback should be. So I've really enjoyed the challenge, and certainly haven't put a line through going back into the midfield. It's certainly an area of the ground that I feel really comfortable in, and if needed, I'm happy to go in there as well.
Fags mentioned the other day, Sam Mitchell and the College's guys who extended their careers by going back to halfback. Is that something that you're hopeful of, that it gives you, it might add 2 or 3 seasons on your career?
Just 2 or 3, Mark? Oh no, you have to go talk to the recruiters about that and the list managers. But Fags has mentioned that, but I think at the end of the day, whatever helps the team win, and we've got a lot of exciting young players coming through our midfield: Jared Berry, Hugh McCluggage, Zach Bailey, Devon Robertson. So those guys have got to learn at some point, and if I can still teach them from afar, and obviously they're in there with Lockie Neal and Jared Lyons, who are very hands-on in there, then I think it's only going to help them develop a lot quicker, and ultimately, can help us towards success. So it's a pretty easy job for me, really.
So often you change it when you line it, but Robbo comes straight back in?
Yeah, I think so. He's obviously got the runs on the board, and he's obviously earned the right. He actually had a really good pre-season for Robbo. Normally he's got a calf, sometime around that 3K time trial mark, similar to Richie. So he actually didn't have that this year, probably because we cancelled it. So that's done in the world of good. So he'll come straight back into the side. He'll resume his normal position out there on the wing. He does a fantastic job for us in that role. It's really disciplined, and something that he's actually helped our younger players with, and teaching them and understanding them the role as well. So he's back in.
One thing we've sort of noticed to start the season, just the extreme momentum swings in games.
Yeah.
And you've had a few in your first 2 games. What's that down to?
I think every team's going to get them at some point. It's just how you capitalise on them and how quickly you can stop the opposition's, momentum, or their role, really. And we've been in 2 of those games already, which is not how it's planned to be, but I think that's the game at the moment. Teams are going to get control and momentum in a game, and you need to, when you have it, capitalise it really quickly, because teams are going to stop it eventually, and vice versa. You want to stop it so they sort of take the sting out of the game as quickly as possible, but I think we'll see a bit more of it.
Rookies have you at the $8 favourite, which is, someone was saying today is probably the best they've ever had on their books for a Lions team, but we saw, I think it was last year, but when you played the Roos last night, it was pretty tight, wasn't it? Like it actually came down to a kick right at the end.
Yeah, it did, and North of their first half against Hawthorn 2 weeks ago was outstanding, and it sort of reminds me of how we were a few years ago. We were in games for as long as possible, and we probably just had those lapses throughout games, which ultimately cost us in the end. But from those experiences, you learn a hell of a lot, and we've certainly done that, and we've probably come out the end a lot better, and they're probably going through that at the moment. But it's just around the corner for them. They're led by a fantastic captain, and obviously got Nobes there as well. So these games are always tight and always tough, and I'm expecting the exact same thing tomorrow night.
Do you see Nobes' fingerprints on the team when you watch him play?
He didn't have a lot to do in terms of the coaching stuff when he was here, but certainly the calm and the composure that he had up in the box and what I saw around the club, I can certainly see it implemented in North Melbourne's game plan.